Hey everyone, I am coming to you on this hot, humid summer day from the interior of a 1985 Dodge Ram pickup truck. It's my son's. He turned 16 and a friend of his father had this for sale. He decided that he wanted it. I needed to borrow it today because I had to move some shelving. I got some new shelving for the store, had to go get it, had to put it in the truck, had to move it. Something occurred to me today that occurs to me often, especially when I get hot and bothered. Now, we all get hot and bothered, whether by the temperature, the stuff that we're going through in life around us, and stuff that's on the inside of us. If you're human, you will at one point in time get hot and bothered. Now, if you've ever spoken to me personally on a one-on-one level about spiritual beliefs, you know that I have two big beliefs. I really believe that we need to honor the energies and the spirits of the land upon which we live. For obvious reasons, it's what supports us. Two, honor your ancestors. We all come from ancestors who struggled, who fought, who worked hard, who had awful, horrendous lives. Every one of us are a product of those thousands and thousands of loves and lives and struggles. Today, while I was hot and bothered and sweating and working up a sweat and getting bothered and getting irritable and just being human and this heat, really showing off my Northern European heritage because I'm not built for the tropics, I remembered something. Now, this happened to me quite a while ago, especially since I was working with my ancestors, opening up to spirit and all of that. One morning I was getting ready and I was just hot and bothered. It wasn't the temperature, it was everything in my life. I was just getting ready. I was running late, getting my shoes on, getting all my stuff out the door. And then I realized one thing. I'm kind of a ninny. Now, not to dismiss your challenges, your problems, or anything in your life, but I will tell you, it hit me, and I think it has to do with working with my ancestors. You know, whether you loved your parents or not, whether you knew your grandparents or you didn't, whether you were an orphan or whether you came from a family of a dozen kids, it doesn't matter. We all get stuff from our ancestors. We all get stuff from our family. And this isn't just genetics. This isn't just height and hair and eye color. This is a lot to it. You know this is to be true if you ever come from a family that were musicians, or a family of alcoholics, or a family of angry people, or a family of healers. There's a lot of things that get passed down through our blood that we're not really quite aware of. And I want you to tap into that. Whenever you get hot and bothered, whenever life is throwing you curveballs and punches, I want you to just think of something. I want you to ask yourself, what would my ancestors have done in a day like today? I guarantee you have hundreds of ancestors that have all come before you that would have given their left arm for all of the problems that you think you have today. Again, I don't want to diminish your problems, and I don't want to diminish the struggles that you have in your life. Maybe you didn't get as many followers on Instagram. Maybe somebody cut you off in the grocery store parking lot. Maybe you got some bad news around taxes. Maybe you get a bill you weren't expecting. Life throws us curveballs. We are gauged by how we respond to those curveballs. You can get through life better if you channel your ancestors. And whether you knew them or whether you didn't, we all come from strong people. Think of your grandmother, or great-grandmother, or great-great-grandmother who was raising children in a time where there weren't hospitals, where there weren't grocery stores, where there weren't doctors, where there weren't anything like that. There were no modern conveniences. Think about the women and men that come before you. Every day was a gift. They weren't guaranteed life. We all have ancestors who have several children who passed away in any given generation. A stone's throw away from me, there's a cemetery with a great-great-grandfather of mine with all these tiny little gravestones next to him because he lost, I don't know how many kids, 6 or 7 kids. I don't want to diminish your problems and I don't want to lessen them, but if you are struggling, I want you to channel your ancestors and I want you to speak with them if you can. I know you have them around you. I want you to think about what your ancestors would have done in that given scenario. I want you to think about how you could better respond and how you could better channel their strength and their wisdom to get through whatever it is that is challenging you. Whatever problem you have, whatever's making you hot and bothered, when you next come upon conflict or friction in your life, I want you to ask yourself, what would my ancestors have done? What would my ancestors have given to be in my shoes today? The answer is a lot.